some others. So I've been starting a cut with the coarse reamer and I'm getting some filings off. So I'm feeling like we are making some real progress with the coil spindle. Not quite sure how I'm going to test it. Probably blew up my milling cutter once I've done this. So I'm going to do a bit more of a pass on the coarse taper, then I'm going to have another finished cast with the fine taper. These ones are Morse Taper 3 reamer, coarse, and the fine. Bring it back. And now the fine has taken a few shots. But I think we should be somewhere near ready to test. A dirty way to check your alignment. I'm just centered on the rule and then looking across. And I'm picking that to be 88 millimeters, give or take a couple of fractions. Same, come to here, and again, checking the roll position. 88, give or take a couple of fractions. So that tells me that this vertical is parallel to that. And then all we do is we just swing across and look for the light break. It's just happening there. And we're talking real quick and dirty, home shop kind of alignment. No tools, just your eyes. Same through here. Just bring it back till the light just cuts off there. So you can see that with two simple checks, we've aligned vertically and parallel for our lift piece. And then our lift and lower is travelling. Happy days. You can make that as good or as slack as you want it to be, but it's now up to the user. They have everything they need. I've also put the coarse and the fine reamer through. I'm now getting a good contact patch of about 1.5 inches wide on my Morse up in the quill. So it's been a suitably excellent shortcut finish to this particular project. Next step is to probably take it home. We're going to do some more product shots here whilst it's at Bruce's. I need to make a cover for the quill spring. That's the quill return spring. Oh, and also I need to make my quill lock function. It was missing one of the clamps here. That should be a fairly straightforward one and not essential to the operation of the quill. Yeah. Our progress.
Beautiful.
Meets the Bruce Witham seal of approval. G'day YouTube, JB from Oz here. What we have here is the brass nut from a Pratt Bernard high-low vise. Pratt Bernard high-low vise. And the issue that we had is that the spring that engages the low speed had sheared off or pulled through or something. So the repair that I've attempted here is to actually take a coil off the spring and then bend in a new tang, giving it a bit of a relief, so that from the end we have a new spring. So the way this works is that we've got two actions. We've got a high speed nut and a low speed nut, so it's a slightly different threads per inch or whatever you want to say. So ordinarily, as you're doing a high speed, this brass nut is just spinning with the shaft. At the point where the part engages on the vice jaws, there's friction on this brass nut, which is then holding firm against the vice while the handle continues to spin. when the friction overcomes the spring pressure, then the thinner part of this starts to wind in against that nut. So you get the low speed, higher torque. So we're just about ready to put a test on this and see if this replacement or repair to the spring will actually get us back into action. So essentially that goes in there somewhere like that. Alright, so now we're back on the shaft, and I've got the spring on the shaft into that index hole. Probably should put some grease on. Okay, so this is the vise. Now it's got apprentice marks galore. The brass on here actually looks in reasonable nick. We've got our main clamp shaft. We've got another brass here. So my goal is to grease all this up. Okay, so as this turns and we're not loaded up, the brass continues, and then now the brass is held and we're on our fine just loosening it. Once we get to a certain point, it then backs out. Easy fix. Now we just need to get a give for it, some jaws, tidy it up, but functional, should be working. Hi, little happy fun. This vise has been offered on loan to myself. It's a Brown & Sharp 156, number 23, and that's to go on to the RF30 mil. So I've got some bigger clamping capacity. Check this out. This is my brother's effort. Landcruiser 24 valve. Cylinder head repair. We had some corrosion in the head. So that's been welded. He's put it back together. We're just about to do the shims today. And the plan with that, the shims are a bucket with a flat disc on top, and we'll use the surface grinder to grind them down to size. Ordinarily you'd go to the shop and pay $10 each for shims of the right size. When you've got a surface grinder you don't have to. Yep.
Out the back the other week and saw that 64 trailer.
Right.
Said, do you want to sell that? I said, I don't know last night.
Sure. If you want to, you can have it.
Okay.
Sure. Cost me 2 cartons. 2 cartons?
Making a spin?
It's taking the dust off.
Yeah. That's welcome bad. 2 cartons.
Gets it out of here.
Sweet.
Atomic.
What's that?
2 cartons of Atomic Pale Ale.
What's that?
Beer.
Yeah, how much is that?
About 50 bucks each. The Doc's trailer over there.
That feels pretty good. All right.
just taken a surface grinder to bring these shims down to 2.78 millimeters, and we're about to reassemble and just check clearances. We expect our clearance on number 1 to be dead nuts, and these ones here that we've just taken down, what was that, 10, 20, about 0.1 of a mil across the board. It's just so that we can get a reading. Yeah, okay, 2.9 down to 2.78, so about 0.12 millimeters. So now we're going to reassemble, check clearances, and do a final cut of any that need it. Okay, so you might want to jiggle the jigger and wind on another cut.
This will be the last cut.
Yep. So do a spring cut and then park it and check it.
Spring now, or that was the spring?
Let it come back for another one. Let it come back for another one.
Yeah, that's alright, because this is supposed to be evidence now you know how to use the machine, so if you lose a finger, it's indemnified.
So what are we targeting? You could take a fraction more if you want.
So we're aiming for 264?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
So what's that going to be? That's going to be 0.08, isn't it?
How do you mean?
Apart. Finish cut. I'm just going to take the one back a little bit.
That's 0.8 of that cut. It's tough with all these, the two different measurements going back and forth, the millimeters to inches. It's something I struggle with. You don't? Yeah, no, I do. Because people talk about thousands in both of them. Yeah. So you point thousands to one.
goes to show you how little's coming off. Lovely. Alright, rinse and repeat.
So we got 0.07.
Might leave that with you then. Happy, happy? So, having gone and set up our first set of shims, got to leave my brother to finish it out. He's doing well. The pretty bits, the shiny bits, are ready to go. And this is the beast. He's already replaced big ends, and he's doing mains, pistons, rings, all that. For 300,000 kilometers, this thing's still on standard, and it hasn't needed to go oversize. It's in really good nick. So yeah, he's targeting this to be finished and up and running again real soon. And we'll have this yard cleared up hopefully. And of course, Australian safety boots. Oh yeah, rings are ready to go.
Just not quite greased yet, but
cool.
Keep the dust off it for now, and then when they go in.
Yeah. So, another young apprentice has figured out how to do surface grinding. And the Elliot lives again. Catch you next time.